Fuck it.
Yeah, I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, I told him I'ma hit it out the stands. I deserve another 100 bands. I deserve another 100 fans.
Welcome to another episode of the Married Game Podcast, where the voice you trust when it comes to lust. We are who you hire when she lacks desire. And if it's been a million years since she's had a quivering time that she came, well, you're in luck. We talk about that here on Married Game.
Do you get off doing that? It looks like you do.
Is my O face pop on?
Yeah. It's your about to bust up laughing face.
It is, because I know where I'm headed, but I don't know the exact words. And so the stepping out, as each time you step, the bridge appears.
And then you nail it, so you want to start cracking up.
It's because I've nailed it so many times is why I have faith in it.
You're really good at that.
Well,
my cousin said you should write a book on just like these little metaphors and memes that rhyme.
Okay, I like it.
Yep.
I like it. Well, Jess, we have broached upon a topic. Well, first we got to remember to let them not be nerds and spread the words. I have like a new zeal for Married Game that I haven't had in a really long time, and it almost feels almost holy. Not like
that's intense.
Yeah, it's not like I'm saying, "Hey, check me out, I'm a holy man." There's like a zeal to what we're doing, and almost like
a zest.
Yeah, a little zhuzh. Here's why.
I love the zhuzh.
Here's why. We have more private clients now than we've ever had, and watching them, married man and single dudes, like literally, I'm getting the text. I'm sharing them with you most of them. Sometimes I forget, but I'm sharing. These guys are like, my life has changed. My wife sent me a text that literally melted my heart. It's the one I've wanted my entire life. I'm watching this happen, and I'm going, all because of the shit we've been through.
Gosh.
That we continue to go through, and that we continue to learn. I'm watching not only our marriage like feel like a new, by the way, gorgeous necklace.
Where'd I get this?
Did I get that for you? Oh my God, it looks so, but it's so high up on your neck. I like it.
You got it for me.
It makes your neck look really, oh wow. What a piece of meat that neck looks like.
Oh, wow, thank you.
So
you're trying to get laid tonight on our date, aren't you?
Probably gonna. Take me out to dinner first, though. Okay.
I'll woo you.
Ooh, look at you. So we're better than ever, experiencing like just real blue flame deep stuff. And I'm watching all the men in Married Game, their hearts are getting lit up again. Like, dude, of course I want to become the best version of me. And it happens with every guy. They come in, they're like, there's one thing. They want to get their penis wet again. And when they come in and they start to see the path to that, it like almost awakens something inside of them. They go, dude, I've been living so under my potential for so long, and this is such bullshit. No wonder my wife feels this way about me. Do you agree with this?
I love when they say, when they first come into Married Game, they're like, my wife this, my wife that, she's shitty, she won't lay me, she's not enthusiastic, her. And then when they go through a little bit of our program, they're like, oh shit, I haven't even been like paying attention to her. No wonder. And so it starts to flip, and they start looking inward. And then obviously she's like, oh my God, he's back. Look at him. This is the guy I met. And then they start having sex again, and that's just the fruit of their labor, but that's what happens.
Yeah. One thing I noticed when you and I aren't real connected outside the bedroom, our flirting is not real.
Hell no.
But
of course not.
But when we are connected, you're a dirty son of a bitch. You're a dirty son of a bitch.
I'm a pretty free girl. So.
But when
And we shoot the shit that way, and it's so fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
When we shoot the shit, when we're connected, you are a dirty song gun.
Like, for example, like if a girl walks by, I'm like, damn, look at that girl. Like, not that she can hear me, but so you can hear me. So I just like to mess around.
But even just in our sex life and who we are, and just the jokes that we make with each other, is such. It's what every guy probably experienced when he was dating, and yet it has lost that. And so how do we get back to day one of when it felt like we were dating? Is showing up like you were day one. So let's talk about this day one mentality. It's been huge for us.
It's been huge.
Why I think it's bleeding into our group.
I was just thinking, side note, it's going to be so funny to see the ones that we like kind of argue through or like work something out. And then the ones where we're like really like good, we're all giggly, laughy. Like there is a difference when we're connected and when we're good. Our energy is just so free flowing. What I had come up with, and we talked about the partner dial last time, and it bleeds into this, is because when you're showing up for the partner, like I feel like I can be free. I feel like I am my younger self again, the person who I like always been. I'm a really fun person. I love to shit talk. I love to dirty talk, mess around. Like I'm always joking when I'm in my feminine, when I'm like feel free and connected. So what I was thinking about, to remember in people's relationships, to go back to the person like you were, like your younger self. And I refer to myself in high school as this person because I was a lot of fun. Well, still am, obviously. But when we're good, and like there are times where it's harder to be free flowing because you got kids and a deadline and schedules and things, but to remember to be that young self again. So when you asked me to wake up at 6 and then go do cold plunge and all the things, at times I can't do that. But lately I have more freedom to do that, and I'm like, I need to go. I'm gonna go do that. So when we go do those things, we're extra connected even because we're like a bunch of teenagers running around. Yeah. Bonding, having fun, experiencing life together. And it's important to remember to do that.
Yeah, it's like that day one mentality. I wrote that on the whiteboard, and I just haven't taken it off because it's such a good reminder when I go to grab my bike for us to go do the cold plunge. I see that day one mentality. It's like, Keith, how would you show up if this was the first day you dated Jessie? And it's been fun because it makes me think, oh, well, I want to text her and see how she's doing. Yeah. I want to find out how her day is. Yeah. I want to ask her to do the cold plunge with me. And then you ask me, and then I'm like, yeah. Yeah, hey, you want to come do this with me? Like, and it brings that best friend vibe back together. And the thing is when you reconnect truly the best friend vibe, the only reason why a gal or guy said I do or I want to be with you for the rest of your life is they are sexually attracted to you somehow. But if you kill that best friend vibe and that new fun flirt vibe, then the sexuality, it's the first thing to almost kind of like really. No, it is the first thing to go. It like goes like I don't feel comfortable or safe or fun around you anymore. And comfortable and safe are a huge thing for women. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. That's why like women say they're like when they're married for a while and they say, if my husband dies, like I'm never gonna find somebody else. I'm gonna move in with my best friend and just travel with her all the time. Is because people want companionship. That's it. And so when I don't get it from you, like I'm going to go to my other friends and hang out with them and talk to them, then you and I are not connected. Then what the fuck are we doing here? So it's best to have that best friend connection between your partner so you can be my person and I can go to you and feel safe and comfortable and then be fun and flirty and be my old fun self. Yeah. It's just so true. I know. So fucking simple. And I read a quote. It's a book called The Slight Edge. It's about basically becoming better in your life. And, most people are seeking. People who are really into personal development seem to be people who are into business because they don't want their paycheck to be held up by anybody else, or they don't want to be limited by how hard they work, how much they can make. And this guy said, he showed this graph of the guy doing the little habit every day and the guy not doing the little habit every day. And then, so it went straight. And then the hockey stick started to become really, really obvious. Now these two guys' lives, the delta between these two guys' lives was so different. Yeah. After only 5 years, it's like, what the fuck? And he said, so graphically, like with your eyes, you see that and you go, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But the statement is the one that actually hit me so hard, and it still hits me to this day. And he says, the habits that we're talking about are easy to do, which means they're easy not to do. And once I realized that, I was like, fuck, dude, that the stuff that when you and I are on fire, it feels effortless to be this guy. I just literally look through the 5 dials and go, okay, how can I meaningfully tick one of these off in today's context? Not every day can I hang out with Jovi for 30 minutes because she's at that age where it's like, so I try and pick my moments and go, man, if I get 5 fun minutes before she goes to school, and then if I get another 5 or 10 minutes with her after school, but it's just me and being in the room eating next to her, just trying to
talking, engaging,
somehow like have our energies mesh. That might be the only thing I could have gotten that day, and I'll get a point for that. But like thinking through it, like I've already thought through this morning, how do I get all of my points in a meaningful way? And then it's not like I feel like I'm doing all this extra stuff. I'm doing just stuff that is so simple but again, it doesn't even feel like I'm checking a checklist. It's like, oh, I want to do these things. Yeah. Which is why I think a lot of guys feel so stupid when they don't do it. Like, I actually do care about you. I actually do want to know what's going on with you. I actually do fucking love you. Well, damn it. How did I miss that?
Then the wife's like, well, it doesn't feel like that. You don't do anything for me. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to relate this to jiu-jitsu because I really believe actually what we're doing in Married Game and just who we are as humans. Like, take the word married game out, even though those 2 words have never existed next to each other ever in the history of humanity. Think about that.
People don't do that.
Think about that. A married guy now should feel stupid if he doesn't have game. Married men used to think, well, I already got my gal. Yeah, well, you clearly don't know how to fucking control her or get her to do anything you want her to do.
Or keep her.
Or get her horner.
Horner.
Are you not a horner? You don't know how to make her horny. You don't know how to do any of those things. She's not experiencing any sexual liberation or freedom or growth in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And that's your fault, guy. Here's why. You don't have fucking game. So like this new energy about it is like, married men need game, but here's the other thing I'm realizing, especially because of all this jiu-jitsu I've been doing, is like there are martial arts and then there are marital arts. When the guys who I roll with that are black belts, and they're teaching me, so they're not going full out on me, they are spending about 1/10 the energy I am as a total white belt. And so as I look at Married Game as like a marital art, once you know certain things, you just go, dude, I'm spending less energy trying to be this guy than you are, and you're working quote unquote harder with dick for results, and I'm working, it doesn't seemingly working at all because it's just kind of how I am now with results through the roof. That's how subtle this shit is, and that's why it like frustrates me that I haven't communicated it clearly enough in the past couple of years. Like, dude, if you're a married guy and you are stuck in certain situations, it's just a skill. It's an art. It's a martial art you can learn.
To relate that to sex.
Yeah.
When you said that when it becomes easier when we're good and connected, then this, like, for me, the sex becomes easy. Like, oh yeah, I want to give him. It's not even just easy. It becomes like, where like you want it, you're asking for it, you're excited about it, instead of like, fuck, I got to do that again. Like with this guy who doesn't even talk to me all day. Yeah.
My favorite line of copy I've ever written was this last week, and it's based on exactly what you're talking about. Dude, you have helped me so much this last month really see this, and it was your sheer determination to be like, you got to see this, motherfucker, because if you don't see this, you're fucking blind. And I felt the same obstinance to you, like, Jesse, you gotta fucking see this.
That was so crazy.
But what's interesting though is it has brought about like this understanding of whoa, wait a second, dude. What we're learning in our lives, the shit that we've been through, and for some reason how we're able to articulate it is setting men's lives free. And what I hear more than often, and for those of you guys listening, you know exactly who I'm talking about because it's all of you. Once they finally make the call, they go, dude, I've been listening to your podcast for the last 6 months. I've been listening for the last year. And I think that what there has been maybe in the marketplace from us is only dudes who have really shitty sex lives call us. And nobody wants to be the guy that has to do that because our pride is just so fucking, and our ego is so strong. But that's not the reality of it. The real reality of it is a married man who doesn't know, who can just want to have game. It's like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy who goes, I'm a black belt already, and I'm going to continue this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's like maybe hopefully our new message will help take away some of maybe the stigma of, oh man, I must have to, I gotta admit I have a shitty sex life, as opposed to, I just lack a skill. I'm not a piece of shit. I just lack a skill and an understanding, and I'm showing up to class with a white belt ready to learn.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Well, some men say, and a lot of men actually, because of their ego, they go, my relationship's so great. She's my best friend. I just want it a little bit better. And when they get into married game, and then they're like, oh, wow, like I can make this a lot better. She's already initiating this many times this week.
Yeah.
All because of married game.
It's crazy. And
It feels so good.
We're saying all because of married game, because that's the title of this company we started. All because you
Of
and
us.
I are some crazy motherfuckers that are like, no, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because
well, I'm not doing that divorce thing, and we have Jovi, and I love our life, and so like I want this to work. So I'm here. I said I'm gonna be here. If you and I keep trying, then I'm here. Then that's what we're gonna keep doing.
Yeah.
You know, even though sometimes it feels dang close to wanting to move on, but you and I still stick it out, and we're here.
I don't think people understand sometimes how dangerously close we get.
So
to,
that's what I wanted to
We want
say.
really just say, you know what? Can you permanently go fuck yourself? Even though like I don't want. You know what it
Like,
is
we
for
don't
me?
want that.
No, because we've experienced such good highs with how we do it and our understanding that honestly, when I get off track, when I just. Here's what did I tell you about the Jeep analogy I came up with?
No, I don't
Let me
think
say
so.
that, but I know you want to say something.
No, go ahead. I'll say it after.
I was telling the guys were like, why do us guys always feel like we're saying sorry all the fucking time? But I finally figured this out.
Okay.
And as much as I think you probably should say sorry more, that's actually not. It's if the man is the one saying sorry, it's because he's the one driving. Sneeze, girl. I'll re-say it. If you guys do it again.
No, I'm good now.
What happened to triple sneeze? Just a single sneezer?
I'm in front of the camera. I'm embarrassed now.
Okay, got it. It's just you and me. I think we're alone now. Hey, so this concept of why is the man always the one saying sorry, and it's real simple now. I get it. It's because I'm the one driving the Jeep. If I'm the one driving the fucking Jeep and I take us off the trail,
Exactly.
and because that's what really happens is I fucking drive us off the trail.
Yeah.
And then it's like the reason you got to say sorry is because hey, I took a wrong turn. My bad. You can't blame the person in the back seat who's maybe yelling, maybe screaming,
Trying to backseat drive. But
if
it's
you're
not
the one
working.
who fucking driving, which is the leader, which is what I believe I am, and I
Yeah.
think that's how masculine and feminine energy work. Well, no wonder I should be the one fucking saying sorry. I'm the one who took us off the train.
I love that you're saying this because I can tell you all the things in the world and it just goes right out of your head and you actually have an ego and you get mad at me for it. But when you realize something yourself, it's like a big light bulb revelation for you.
Yeah.
But I remember saying that to you. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be the leader? Don't you call yourself the leader? Then be the leader. So you drove off the cliff for a minute and then you're like, whoa, who did that? Why are you doing that back there? It's
my
like,
God.
whoa, you said you're driving. I'm letting you drive. Don't drive me off a cliff.
So true.
I know.
So true.
But what I wanted to say was, like, you were saying, I don't think people understand like how dangerously close once in a while we get, or like yearly. You know, it's like a normal thing, and
Like every other year. I looked at the pattern. It's
like
every
how
2 years.
yeah. And what I love about it is obviously we get so much better and learn so much, but boy, it's so difficult in between. But like during this past time that this happened, I want people to understand, like, it's so many conversations, it's so many therapy sessions, it's so many talks, it's so many times of us getting mad or trying to work through something, or us trying to explain our feelings and our thoughts and all the little resentment things that we've swept under the rug, like opening that up and talking about that. And it's dropping our ego in between so we can hear each other. But it's multiple of those to finally it all opening up and be like, you know what, we did this, I did that, you drove us off the cliff, all the things. So it is extremely difficult in this couple of weeks of time talking about things, but it's so necessary. And you learn so much.
Yeah.
And what not to do again, and how to handle the next situation and the next fight, and not to get so mad, and make the fights longer in between and shorter amount of time, and get less mad at each other, and have more grace and empathy and love all throughout that.
Yeah, it's so hard.
It's really difficult.
'Cause you look so sweet right now, but sometimes you are a monster, dude.
Sometimes you don't look at me this nicely. That's for sure.
It's to me, this is an art. This is a skill. This is a thing I will be learning and growing in.
Yeah.
I hope I never forget the partner dial again, because that is some dumbass shit. And this day one mentality, like seeing day one mentality, is like, well, I remember the first day I met you, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we were goofing around and giggling and just talking shit and doing all the things we do now.
It's like what our relationship is based on.
Yeah.
Fun.
Here's the other thing.
Best friends.
We talk about fun being the fountainhead, fun being the foundation. I know there's a lot of guys listening that are probably saying, well, how the fuck do I be more fun? And the truth is, fun, flirting, ball busting, banter, that is actually, I think, what creates a great sex life. Because all those things are not only signs and evidences of connection, but they are also the source of connection as well. When we're doing that, we're creating more connection. And then some guys are like, oh, do I need more sex techniques? Dude, it's not about techniques. It's about how deep is the connection. And
they're not just one form of connection, sex. There's multiple, and those are all forms of connection that we all need, all of those kind to create the bigger connection, the fruit of that labor. But we all still need all the other connections. It's like a soup, big soup. You need all of them.
Yeah, you do. It's crazy how easy it is to forget this. For those of you guys who are like, I'm frustrated. My wife and I, we are good one day, and the very next day, right under the surface, we are almost ready to fucking lop each other's heads off.
Oh yeah.
There's all these things that I think are super fucking normal for a relationship, except nobody has seen an example of people that go through it and that are honest about it, and that have a relationship that, oh, hi, dude, give me some of that fucking high.
Yeah.
Let me get high.
Let me get some highs in there.
Let me get some highs in there.
Yeah.
And
it's true now.
This is why
I accept it.
This is same. But I think that's why it feels holy to me, because it almost feels like we're exposing a lie, and the lie is that everything's supposed to be perfect all the time, and that unless it's perfect all the time, you will have no highs. When the reality is, we get mad at each other, we get pissed off, but I also would never, like, genuinely, I don't know one fucking relationship I would trade for. I just been like, oh yeah, I want theirs. It doesn't even cross my mind.
Me neither.
So maybe this holy zeal that I'm feeling isn't necessarily towards a creator or towards a holy cause.
It's to me.
It's towards the fact that it's like, hey, dude, you guys are all being fucking ripped off. You're believing a lie that's not true. And the reason why your sex life sucks in your marriage is you literally just don't have game. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's such a simple thing to say now, but I think that's it. Like, that is it. So I think how cool, first of all, that we have this free resource to give them. Like, just go listen to this podcast. I almost want the podcast to start from like now on.
You're right.
It feels like a new, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But this
Me
day
too.
one mentality feels fresh. This understanding the partner and the best friend dial, and actually showing up as a best friend and caring and being enthusiastic about what the other person says. Yeah. I know that if I did not have what we have, I would be hanging on every fucking word that you and I say. If there was a podcast like this that was like, man, you guys actually have the sex and the fun and the shit, like all the
banter.
stuff, the
energy.
we really get along.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely cannot wait for our date night tonight, because I know we're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm with you. So Stanzik and I were talking this morning when we were doing our cold plunge, and he goes, you know what is special about you and Jesse by hanging out with you guys? And he goes, I've hung out with you guys a lot in a lot of different scenarios. He said, some people need a lot of money to go have fun. He goes, but a bottle of tequila and some limes picked off a tree is all you need if you're hanging with Keith and Jesse, and you already know you're going to have the best fucking time that night.
Wow.
And he goes, it's not even that you need the tequila. he goes, just being with you guys, you have this gift of having fun wherever the fuck you go. And he goes, everybody else is trying to throw money at that, where you guys don't need to.
Wow. So like when I was saying we show up at 6:30 at the cold plunge, that it was at Stanzik's house. And so that's what he was saying, because it's 6:30 in the morning and we're still giggling and talking shit and
having the best time.
Yeah.
But that's not
with no alcohol, with no people around,
that's not normal,
just
apparently.
all the time.
Yeah,
and that's what we talk about, like when we go to the grocery store and flirt with the checkout person or whatever. It's not just flirting; it's having a good time wherever you go, no matter what, all the time.
Yeah.
And,
so
and we're lighthearted that way.
Let's segment this in. So the day one mentality is stuff like, hey, are you showing up as a partner? Like a best friend? Is there something that you're doing that you reach out if she was your best friend? Are you showing up as a producer? Can your wife tell you're still growing and pushing yourself to become better? Are you showing up as a parent where you're like actually give a shit about your kids and are interested in them? Are you showing up as a player, meaning you're trying to be in shape, have a fun, flirty attitude? And then lastly, are you showing up in your power, meaning are you actually doing what you want to do because you love what you want to do, or are you a Velcro cat with your wife and you just follow your wife around all the way? Okay, that's ways that you can show up in the day one mentality.
Yeah.
I want to slide into another segment here, though, as a part of this show that we have to discuss this because it was so mind-blowing, and it is so mind-blowing for some of our single guys. And how we teach game and the way we view game. Nobody's really ever heard us talk about this. And yet it is a 180-degree difference than what everybody else is teaching out there. And it is 100 times more effective than all the shit other people are talking about there. So let's just make this a 2-topic episode.
Cool.
Where day one mentality for you married people, get jumping on that. And if you don't know how to do anything, you should go to Married Game and get some fucking game. Now.
And this flows into now when your wife wants to have fun and out and about.
Yeah, the single, what is
game.
Game. Let's get into it. Do you want me to share what I believe my definition for game is? And then I would be really curious for you to kind of elaborate on how you view game and what your definition of it, and we'll just go back and forth.
Let's go.
All right, so game, to me, having game, when a gal says that guy has game, or when a guy says, hey, I've got game, or when we're telling people the reason why you're not having sex when you're married is because you don't have game. What I mean by game is a rich and full understanding of what's actually happening, so you know how to score in a way that's meaningful to you, so that you can feel like you're winning.
Yeah.
To me, that's game. So if you're single and you go, hey, I understand, I have game, meaning I understand women, which means women feel safe and comfortable and have a good time around me, which then leads us to being naked, which leads us both down to the O train, which leaves us both happy that we're able to experience who we are as a sexual human being. If that's what I understand how to make that happen, that would be winning. So I understand game.
Yeah, you do.
That's how I think about that. Do you have a different definition? I mean, dude, we could define it like 17 different ways. But it's basically a guy that says, I understand what's happening here, and I know how to get everybody what they want.
Well, no, like when we go out, nobody wants the dud just sitting there not playing the game, right?
Yeah.
You want the guy out there having a good time, laughing, smiling, enjoying himself, his life.
Yeah. So this comes. Let's talk about some of our philosophies.
Okay.
And for those of you guys who might be single that have been turned on to this, and you're like, it's married game, and I'm divorced, or I'm not sure about my girlfriend, or blah blah blah. We do have resources for you. It's almost the same as married game. We take a little bit different tact with it, but we have a shit ton of fun teaching you guys this. But this philosophy stands whether you're married or not married. And one of the things that people don't understand is the difference between a pickup artist and a guy with real game, okay? Or a supremely valuable man. So a supremely valuable man is this 1% dude that every woman wishes they were with. And you could probably get a 99% consensus amongst women that if the dude was in great physical shape, had great monetary resources and status, was not ugly, didn't have to be handsome, but wasn't ugly, and seemed to be connected in a way that was more than just shallow and rich, but cared about leaving a positive impact on those around him.
Who's a giver.
He has a giving mentality that cares about leaving things better than how he found them.
And smart.
Mm-hmm. So 99 out of 100 women, just because one woman might be crazy, are going to say, that's a supremely valuable man. That is what every girl's trying to get. That's what every single girl is spending 2 hours in the makeup before she goes out at night hoping to run into. Mm-hmm. Am I right so far?
You're right.
Okay. So the difference between that supremely valuable man and the pickup artist is the pickup artist knows he's not that, so he has to find out what is the physical facade of that, so he can either portray it, or what is the mentality or demeanor or personality of a guy who has that, so he can model it into tricking some lady into getting it. That's
manipulating.
It's
and
a
lying.
bit manipulative. Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah. But a lot of people believe it. A lot of women do buy into it.
Yes, but a high value, smart woman will not.
Yeah, you have cringed at pickup artists
and
pickup.
Oh my gosh,
ever
it's so
since
disgusting.
I met you.
They're like grovel. They're like, and what do you like? And you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, but I think a guy with good game, even if he's not the supremely valuable one, he wouldn't have disgusted you.
Right.
Because he would understand. He would have read you.
So then he didn't have good game.
What's that?
So that guy didn't have good game. Yeah.
Groveling is not a part of good game. So, but the goal is become the supremely valuable dude. And that's what we teach in Married Game. We've started having single guys sign up for it. It's been really fun because they're like, dude, I am a fucking king in this dating thing right now. And it's so fun to watch because they've become the supremely valuable man. That should be every man's goal, is to become this dude, a 1% dude.
They are that no matter what comes at them, no matter like this or that, or they just are that person. So it exudes off them now.
So they're not having to act a certain way. They are the certain way. That is the goal.
Yep.
Okay. Now, some of those guys that are the supremely valuable man that don't have game, that they don't understand what the pickup artist understands. So they can learn. They both can learn a lot from each other. One guy should want to become the other one. The other one wants to know the tools and the skills of the other one, which are flirting, banter, being a good conversationalist.
Didn't you say play the player? Like you're dealt this hand, but you play the player.
Yeah, this game
like
isn't
poker.
like it's not like there's not rules like baseball where you get runs almost no matter what happens. It's you have to play your hand and another player, and you're thinking, well, what are they making? What do they decide? So the supremely valuable man cares about who he is. He knows who he is, and he's really comfortable, and he also knows he's on a pattern of growth. He's not perfect, but he knows he's a 1%er. Well, a lot of these 1%ers come to us, and they go, okay, I crush it in my business. My body's on fleek. Man, I'm radically connected to God, and I'm deathly afraid of talking to women. And with one of our clients specifically, we were able to take so much pressure off of his shoulders. Like, when you go out, you are not on the last hunt, and if you don't bring any meat home, we're all going to starve. Because that is a desperate, needy energy that high-value women are like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Now, I say high-value women in our society, that is objectively attractive women on the outside. That is mainly what a guy is after at first. If that is the qualifier for him to even.
That's the woman's game. Look good first, then get to know him. That's how you attract them.
Yeah. So but a guy should, if a guy adopted more a woman's game, he would actually do way better with women. So the supremely valuable guy is these things, but doesn't maybe have the skill of the pickup artist, where it means he's comfortable talking with anybody, anywhere. And when we were able to share some of the philosophies that I want to talk about today, like one of them was be the party within the party. So when you are out and it's either a table of 2 or 3 or however many, that's the table that is having the most fun. Not looks like they're having the most fun, is truly having the most fun.
So other people want to flock to them. What are they up to? I want to go over there. Who's in that table? I want to have fun like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why people want to be rock stars and celebrities, because they think their life is more fun. Mm-hmm. You know, all the hookers and blow and all
it might be more fun.
It might be. But they think it's all fun and no game, no work. So, but for a person to know that when they sit down at the table, that table is going to be the most fun, that person has to have some skill with human beings, men and women, to be able to be a leader that can lead them into this pathway of joy. This, if you're sitting here listening to us and you're like, well, dude, that doesn't, I'm not that naturally. Well, it's called a skill. Mm-hmm. It's not a character trait per se that nobody can have except these elite few. It's a skill that anybody can learn. And it's a perishable skill, because if you don't use it, you can lose it. And then when you're really on your game, which we've been going out a lot, we've been having a lot of fun. Like my game is so sharp that it's ridiculous.
And we're together 12 years, so it's a skill.
It's
that you've sharpened your skill.
It's a skill. But you have this skill too.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really do. You're incredible. So be the party within the party. Realize that when you become the supremely valuable man, that you are the catch. This is what every woman wants, a 1%er. Becoming a 1%er is the goal. And until then, accept. Here's where I'm at. Don't try and be something you're not.
Yeah.
And be here now. Be in the moment. Be like really present. Because there's guys that can admit, oh, I'm nervous. And a woman would be like, that's so cute that my beauty has that nervousness over you.
Yeah.
And that can even be a guy with good game.
Yep. Just because they're congruent.
The congruent is be who you really are.
That's attractive.
And don't be desperate.
Yeah.
And don't be desperate means that's a whole.
Don't be needy. Don't grovel.
I have a whole weekend workshop doing that. Somebody DM'd me yesterday, maybe it was a few days ago, and he heard us talking about maybe doing a marriage retreat. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
So much fun.
Why haven't we done that yet?
Why haven't we?
Yeah.
Are you driving?
I'm driving the Jeep, and I'm asking the person in the back, why haven't we gone?
Let's go.
So stupid. There's so many fun couples that I know would have a blast hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And us just sharing our philosophy about why we're able to create so much fun in our life.
Like, I feel like for me personally, I'm better in person. When I get to know someone, I get to see the little quirks and fun things about them, or the things I'm like, you know, if they ask me, you got to get rid of this, don't do that anymore, you know? Yeah. So to have a couples retreat or do things in person, for me, I'm better in person. I'm more comfortable. I can see their energy. I can feel their energy. I love doing things in person.
Yeah.
So when we have our one-on-one clients, or we take them out, we show them the game. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's my favorite thing.
Well, that's why, first of all, amen to all the things that you just said. Mm-hmm. Secondly, our clients feel, the people that we take out and really teach us, they feel like they've been given their life back. Because pickup artists go out on the hunt and they're trying to get something. Whereas the way we teach game is have such a cool life and a vision for your life and a version of your life that people want to leave their vision and version of their life and they want to be in yours.
Yeah.
When you're that guy, you're beating away pussy with a Louisville Slugger. It's the truth.
It feels like when I first met you, it was like that.
Well,
I was looking for more in my life, and I was like, you're fun. Let's hang out. What
does this guy know, and why is he having such a good time in his life?
Yeah. I want to join what you got going on.
I think this piece of living in joy and living a life full of joy and doing the shit that causes you joy is the secret to life. Mm-hmm. It's the secret to living, and it's what makes this way of showing up for game so attractive. Mm-hmm. It's like a magnet. People are like, what the fuck? I want to sit at that table. I want to be with that guy. Another thing, this is just
That's probably why you and I are magnets.
100%.
We always have fun.
Always. Mm-hmm. It's why else the fuck would we do it?
That's what I'm saying.
The filter is
then
fun.
What are we doing? Yeah.
The filter is fun.
Yeah.
let's talk about a tactical, practical thing that we saw that I want to point out. We were sitting there with our guy. You're on the dance floor doing your fun stuff. We all dance. You dance with me. You dance with Stanzik. You dance with our guy.
By myself.
You dance by yourself.
The ladies out
you dance
on
with the
the
ladies
dance
on the thing.
floor. Yeah.
You're able to show that dancing doesn't have to be a sexual thing.
No.
It can lead to
It's
a sexual thing, but
yeah.
it's just a fun thing where people like, as humans, we
dancing.
like going and being around strangers for some reason.
Just for a little bit, and then
a
go.
little bit, and then feeling the vibe.
Yeah, it's the energy.
And this one guy walked in, and he was on the edge of the crowd. Have we told this story on this podcast?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And he was on the edge of the crowd, and he was kind of head bobbing where everybody else was like dancing.
Yeah.
And I was with one of our clients. You were out there dancing. I said, "Hey, look at this picture. What looks off over here? What?" And he's like, "That guy's not really a part of the group. He's like on the edge, trying to pretend like he's a part of the group."
Oof.
And he says, "But when you're out there dancing alone, you go right to the middle, and then you are immediately immersed, and people start coming around. You and me."
Oh, yeah.
But this was a guy. Women don't typically sit on the edge and wonder what's happening.
No, hell no.
Women are.
When I'm going in, I go, excuse me, right in the middle, just for funsies.
Because it's fun to be. You're not out there dancing alone. You're dancing alone, but you're wanting to dance around people.
Yeah.
But when a guy does that, teaching men here, when a guy does that, go right into the actual dance floor and have a good time. This guy skirted the party almost the whole night.
Oof.
And I didn't see one girl come up to him. I didn't see one person come up to him. And he just lacked the actual game. He just lacked the game. And that's one thing is be a part of the group. Don't be afraid to come in and be like, well, here's what it is a guy has to know, does he add value to the group? Mm-hmm. This is why becoming a supremely valuable man is understanding who you are and how much you have to offer for the right person if they meet your status.
Yeah.
And they meet your criteria.
Well, this kind of woman wouldn't want a guy in the sidelines.
No. This doesn't work.
No.
So I love talking about game.
Me too.
I love teaching guys, single or married. Mm-hmm. The reason why a married guy, understanding game with his wife is really key. Well, first of all, he only has one shot. A single dude is like, if Susie doesn't make it, then we'll talk to Sarah. And if Sarah doesn't make it, we'll talk to Hillary. And if Hillary doesn't make it, like you can just next, right? But with a married guy, he's got one shot of making his sexual. If he doesn't learn this, he doesn't get the sex life he's always dreamed of. Could you imagine dying, not having the sex life you've always dreamed of?
No, I'd be so sad. That's sad.
That's a new thought that probably has never entered into any of our people's minds.
Or mine.
Yeah.
That's super sad.
You go to your grave.
So does that mean you're like settling in your whole life?
I don't think, yes, okay.
Somewhat.
Is it settling? Yes.
Yeah.
Is that how a man categorizes it? He probably just doesn't know there's any other way.
Wow.
But that's why we're here on the earth, is to share. Yo, bro.
Everybody needs game.
But here's the thing is, it's not just with him and his wife. Because she's not just saying, oh, wow, you make me feel so amazing. That is a huge, huge, huge part of it. Mm-hmm. But she's also wondering, how does this dude interact with other people in the world? Because if I walk out these doors and everyone treats me like shit and I take it like a little bitch, you would be like, what the ever loving fuck?
You're nailing it. I haven't thought of it like that.
This is why when we talk, the married guys, those who are invited out to become a part of the live event, we take them out, not for them to flirt with women and be that guy. How do you interact with the world? Because she's watching you. And even if you're a total dickhead, this will blow your mind. If you're a total dickhead and the world treats you like a king, you will always have a line of pussy ready to suck your dick no matter what a dickhead you are, because they just want to be with the king.
I would say that to you. You're like, well, other people want me, or I want this, or whatever you would say. The world loves me at times. And I'm like, but this is a thing.
Yes.
It's both. It's all of it.
That's me understanding that the world loves me, but not showing up for you, and that's why you don't like me.
Yeah, a long time ago, you would say, like, well, I can be with someone else. I'm like, go fucking head. Yeah. Try to keep them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, my keeping skills have been growing.
Yes.
So
they have.
It's a guy doesn't even know that that's a part of the game. You start showing up acting like a fucking loser out in the world, and your wife's watching you going, I got the fucking runt of the litter.
Yeah.
I got the fucking reject. I got the what?
She'll start treating you like that then too.
That's exactly how she'll start treating you.
Yep.
And so guys like, why does my wife treat me that way? Well, dude, that's how everybody
Well, don't
treats
be like
you.
that then.
That's how everybody treats you.
Yeah.
And yet, there's so much to this.
There's so much.
That the awareness of actually having game within your marriage, men don't understand how many facets there are to this.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, you and I are experts at it. And I love sharing about it. And I know that we're doing the world a damn good service because, dude, when dads start getting sucked off by moms, they stay together, and kids get raised by two-parent families, and those kids grow up with confidence,
It's true.
and they don't bow their knee to fucking tyrants. So we are the solution.
You're not wrong.
I know I'm not. Well, with that being said, if you know we're not wrong, then don't be a nerd. Spread the word. If you need game, which you do, because
Everybody does.
most of you listen to this, you're not black belts yet. And if you're not a black belt, then you need to be signed up for a class on how to become a black belt. And once you learn how to become a black belt, you'll realize that the game just begins there. So, that being said, head to marriedgame.com. Don't be a loser. Learn to be a chooser. And rather than chase, I'm going to, Elsa Morek, I believe, quoted that phrase, so I'm going to give her credit. She said, don't be a chaser, be a chooser. She's right. Most of you guys are the interviewees, and your wife is the interviewer, and you're trying to get her to approve of you. You done did fucked up real big, brother, and you need to head to Married Game so we can show you another way. That being said, much love. Keep crushing it. That shit is contagious.